Oh, how very exciting. We are going to start working on conditionals. So conditionals are basically something you're giving it a condition, right? Like, for example, you can only play on the Gaston football team if you're wearing a jersey, right? They won't let you just go out there and play in your t-shirt. So the condition is if you're wearing a jersey. So on this one, let's run it. We're going to add a condition, so if it goes across the finish line, something is going to happen. To do this, let's go to our if, right? Just like if you're wearing your jersey, you can play on the Gaston football team. So to do this, we're going to drop it right in here, right? So we're saying race car X equals race car minus 2, so that's what's moving. And then we're going to actually move this into our condition. So what we're saying is if race car X is less than the finish line, something's going to happen. And we can actually get rid of this console log now. And we want it to, if we look at our directions, we want it to say winner, right? So if race car X is less than the finish line, then we want it to say winner. So we'll go to text. Where is it? It's just regular text. Alright, we have the text. I'm going to drop it in here. Now let's see what's going on. Winner. And let's look at the location. Let's put it at 100, 200. 100, 200. Alright, let's see if this actually works. Okay, it's going. Yay, it did it! Right, so what we said is, when the race car is less than the finish line, it's going to go winner at 100, 200. Now it's less, and he won. Cool. So why is this important? Okay, in games like Fortnite, right? You've got a gun, and it shoots a headshot, and it takes away a certain amount of health, right? Whereas if you hit it in the chest, it takes away a different amount of health. So what they're saying is, if the point, because it's not really a bullet, it's when programming, if the point lands at the head, then you're gonna lose this many points. If the point lands at the chest, then you're gonna take away this many points. So it's the same exact concept, just at a higher level. But this is the start of everything, so it's good stuff. Alright, this one's cool. So when we run it, it's growing bigger and bigger. We did this before, right? And then when it hits a certain number, it becomes true. So what they want now is once it hits 2, it's going to change the animation to a pair, right? So we got to make sure we have our pear, which we do. We have an apple and a pear. So let's scroll up, and we're going to get our conditional, right? We're going to put it right in here. So again, fruit scale equals fruit scale plus 0.01. So the loop is going to be making it larger each time by 0.01. Now, we're just going to grab this math, because that's what we're using. So we're saying, if the fruit scale is greater than 2, right? If the fruit scale is greater than 2, before we had it in the console log, it would go true. So we're just going to get rid of that, because we're not going to use the log anymore. So, fruit scale equals fruit scale plus 0.01. It's going to grow each time during the loop, but during that loop, once the fruit scale hits greater than 2, we want to change it, right? Now to do this, all we have to do is change the animation, right? So up here, fruit dot set animation is apple. So instead, we're going to change it to pear. So fruit dot set animation is a pear. So what we're saying is, during this loop, it's going to scale 0.01 each time it loops. And once, if it hits greater than 2, the animation is going to change to a pear. Let's check it out. Cool, it did it. Okay, so if we wanted to switch this up, we could change this to the pear at the beginning, right? Because we can name it whatever. The animation is whatever. So at this point, it's going to be pear, and then we're going to say apple. So we're saying it's going to start off as the pear. It's going to scale. The fruit is going to scale by 0.1, and once it hits 2, it's going to switch to apple. Let's check it out and see if it worked. And it did. Cool. So remember, fruit set animation to apple. So we're saying, if the fruit scales greater than 2, the animation is going to change to apple or pear. Now, why is this important to like modern day video game stuff? Again, let's go back to Fortnite. If the player gets a headshot, if player gets a headshot, the game could be over, right? Where if the player gets a body shot, maybe he only loses 5 health or whatever. Make sure and read this. I want you to understand it. Remember, everything builds upon everything else.